Good morning. Welcome to another episode of Politics and Power on TSLNigeria TV. It's another day again, and we're here to look at the political space as far as our country, Nigeria, is concerned. We draw closer to the 2023 general elections. I have with me this morning a guest that I call a brother, and that's a person of Barrister Gabriel Eigiator.
Thank you so much for having me. It's a privilege being here. Good morning, Nigerians.
Good morning. And this morning we'll be looking at a very interesting, he's a barrister, and we're looking at a very interesting topic. We're starting from Edo State, where we are currently based.
Okay.
There's this issue with the People's Democratic Party, the legacy PDP and the new PDP.
Yes.
Faction of the government, that of the South Vice Chairman.
Yes.
Now, while the race that this issue started, we keep hearing them going to court, getting judgments. So we're looking at this issue of frivolous judgments. The judiciary is becoming known for this catch and carry kind of judgments. And
okay.
So as a barrister, we want you to please help us throw more light to this issue. Is it that there is no basis for getting judgment anymore? It has to do with if the highest bidder takes it all.
Well, I think the issue at hand is a very diverse issue. It's very unfortunate, it's ironic that our most supreme arm of government, our most relevant arm of government, the judiciary, seems to be taking as if it's a nanny to politicians to keep their peace and what have you. Over time, the judiciary, the law court, are being a sanctuary where laws are being interpreted, where issues that have to do with national politics are being given a face to. But what we are experiencing now is that politicians are trying to drag in the law court, just to rubbish the judiciary. I call it rubbish in the judiciary.
Or enrich the judges.
Exactly.
Or enrich the judges.
Yeah, the case may differ. I don't want to say that, so I will look as if I'm already, talking to my lord, already be biased. But be that as it may, the law court, what we know the law court to do is to interpret the laws, interpret the status, interpret the spirit of the law, giving a face to the law. So the issue that's roaming around the court in regards to the PDP are diverse issue because we are having different interpretations to the law in terms of the letters. So they are trying to give it a face. I think the problem started when the primary election was conducted. We had to do with INEC saying that they observe a particular election of one fashion, that they observe the other. Okay. And the other saying that, the people INEC observe their election are not those that, that have the responsibility to conduct that election. So that is where the problem is. So it's like somebody doing something, but doesn't have the right, the authority to do such things. So that is where the problem is. First of all, they have to give interpretation to the constitution of the party, who has the right to actually conduct a primary. Then we go to the Electoral Act, who has the right to witness an election of a primary election of a political party. Then we go to the court. The modus, the formalities of conducting this election, was it properly followed? So there are steps. The constitution remains the grand north. So I think the politicians are over jumping the gun. They've not exhausted local remedies. They are going back to the court. And you can see what the court is doing today. The court is throwing them back to their room, back to their board. You go back to your drawing board and settle your issues. It's a party affair, not an external affair. As local remedy first before going to court. But what we keep saying is that if the party goes to the Federal High Court today, the other version goes to the other Federal High Court today to get judgment, to give complicated.
No, the question I'm asking now is this. You have judges in this high court.
Yes.
If a case is brought before me and I know I don't have jurisdiction as far as that case is concerned, am I not supposed to throw out that case?
Yeah, you can declare jurisdiction.
So why give judgments?
Yeah, depends on the issue at hand. what exactly are they bringing to the table? What exactly are they bringing to court to interpret? Okay. You know, some of those lawyers, what they do, or some of the political party, when they are going to processes, it depends on their prayers. What you are bringing to the court to grant you. It's just like that's why they use the court as a kind of acronym for God. Whenever you are bringing to God to answer your prayer, the prayers, the request, is what the court will give attention to. So that can be, I mean, you can have a request A before a federal court in Benin, and you are filing on that case having a request B before a federal court in Abuja. So you are going to do different interpretations in granting your prayers. So that is the challenge we are facing. But be that as it may, we are just waiting for the Supreme Court, which is the most apex court in Nigeria, to give a final, finality in this matter, to give a final declaration over this matter. And until they get to the Supreme Court, I'm not sure any of the factions are ready to shift ground, because we have seen that over time, for the past 5 months, they have been going to court. Of judgment, some people call it black market judgment, some call it whatever. I don't want to go into that because I'm a lawyer. Okay, but we are having different kind of judgment on a particular matter, and it's bothering my laws. It's bothering the judge. It's bothering the various court, and it's bothering the lawyers.
I think this issue on ground is as simple as ABC. It's even the judges and the so-called lawyers and even elaborating this issue. Yeah. Because when the issue gets to the court, there's you lawyers, you guys have a way of putting section, subsection, unit. At the end of the day, they become so ambiguous that the other man will not even understand the nitty-gritty of the case at hand. Now, I'm going to ask you this next question. Okay. As a layman, I take a case to court. As simple as going to sign your affidavit, they will tell you that the court closes by 4 p.m.
By 4 p.m.
By 4 p.m. They tell you that we have closed for the day. But surprisingly, when we have issues that have to do with the politicians, we hear cases where as late as 9 p.m. They are getting judgments. We hear cases when a situation where I currently have a case in court, and they'll tell you that the day you file in the court, you need 28 days notice. I don't know.
Yes.
That's for the late.
You need a 30 days notice.
30 days notice. But when it comes to the politicians, if you guys have a special preference for them, that they can file a case in the morning. If the judge in charge of that case is in the United Kingdom, he will travel from UK to Nigeria in the afternoon to preside over that case 7 p.m. in the evening and give judgment 10 p.m. in the night, so that there will be no convention in the morning.
No, you see, these are some of the lacunas in the administration of justice in Nigeria. Okay. It happens sometimes. It happens that way, just to even when you get to court, sometimes a judge, you can see the way a judge is toying. As I will give you judgment, if you like, cry to the Supreme Court. He just wants to fulfill his desire. He knows that whatever I go to do may create a future damage. But what I want is that to give you judgment. Yes. With due respect to everyone, it can actually be very rascal.
And we have rape cases that will last for 7 years.
What cases is that they are so generous. Okay. They are they are different from every other cases. Okay. One thing about the issue that has to do with electoral, elections and what have you, has to do with date. Election do not play with date at all. Okay, so it doesn't play with date. The terms of elections cannot be elongated, cannot be expanded. Okay. So if you have a reply, and you don't find a reply, you are slept on your right. Okay. Bad as that. So when you are dealing with election matter, you have to be very careful. You must take cognizance of the date. You must know where to file your reply and what have you. So that is why it is an issue that is very difficult to handle. So that's why most electoral matters are done by a team. You will only see a lawyer stand this, on his own to handle electoral issues. He must have a team. Yeah, because he has to do a collective of ideas, So that's what makes it more very, elaborate. But I must say, there is in our administrative system, no doubt about that. Just the way it is in our educational system and what have you. So that's why we have various kind of organs, that depass justice. That's why we have the National Judicial Council, we have the National Judicial Institute, and what have you. Just to make sure that all of these loopholes are being come up for there to be a better administrative system. So I mean, even in a just area, we have an issue where some of the House of Assembly members were not inaugurated because the inauguration was done at night. And the question was, is there a particular time for inauguration? And when you actually look at that law at that time, sir, there was no particular time for inauguration. You get it? So inauguration, yes, I'm not supporting that act of inauguration taking place at night. Because to me, even as religious people, night is an ungodly hour. And we believe that whatever is done at night is not, it must have some level of, insincerity. But at that time, there was no law that said that you must do inauguration in the morning.
Okay, let me ask you this question.
Yes.
Barrister Egeto. I understand you said something about judicial administration in Nigeria. This question I want to ask, is there a place for morality when it comes to judicial administration in Nigeria?
There's no morality in law. Okay. The law is the law. The law.
Your judges can say.
Yeah, the law is the law. There's no morality. What there's morality, you are not bringing on the issue of religion. Okay. In law.
I'm talking now.
Yes, the human heart, the human feelings.
The human heart. Having known the right thing to do at any point in time.
What is the right thing to do?
The reason why I'm telling you this is, as a judge, you know too well that you shouldn't sit at night.
Okay.
That is not the right thing, because the issue you brought about the issue of Federal State swearing of the
lawmakers,
National Assembly, and the law person is saying that though the laws did not stipulate a particular time for inauguration, but morally speaking, why will you gather from persons in the night?
That's a politician for you.
And you want to swear them in, and you will tell us that that's the right thing to do. That's why I'm asking this question. Is there a place for morality?
There's no morality.
Okay, now you said something about lacuna in the law and all that.
Yeah.
But do you know that whatsoever is happening in the judiciary now has to do with confidence?
Exactly.
The ordinary man on the street, they are losing confidence as far as the judiciary is concerned.
Yes.
People prefer to settle their case one-on-one than going to the court, because they know too well that it all depends on who you are handling the case with. If it's somebody that is way richer than you, more influential than you, there's a tendency that you have lost the case ab initio. So I want to ask you this all-important question. Going forward, what do you think should be done to redeem the battered image of the judiciary? Because we have another issue we're going to be looking at this morning, the issue of contempt. Because these so-called politicians that you guys are protecting, that the judges need to be protected because they have relationships with, they don't respect them. You saw a few weeks ago, a judge asked the IG to be put behind bars. Why? Because a judgment was given, and he did not obey the judgment, and it's happening everywhere.
Exactly.
I'm not sure there is any court judgment that the President Buhari administration have obeyed. I'm not sure there's any. I'm not sure there's any.
You are correct.
So please, show more light.
Well, I don't know. I think is the nature of our society. People cease not to obey court order any longer. And
not people, the higher.
okay. But position cease not to obey court order. And I think one of the reasons for that is because the judiciary have not been able to, get that freedom, total freedom of administration in terms of salary and in terms of appointment. Because when you look at those judges who appoint them, sometimes we use a quota system to appoint judges. And people that have over this appointment as politicians. They are positions. And you put them there, what do they do? They have to, you have to put somebody there who will hear your word, who will do your own bid. So that is one of the greatest challenge we are having. I'll give you an example. Before the recent appointment of judges in Edo State, an examination was conducted to twice. And people, put in the application, they wrote the exam, sat for the exam, and a lot of people came out in flying colors. But the system was truncated. Why? Because some politicians did not pass the exam. So it became a very big problem. So appointment of judges as of the executive. Payment and salaries of judges as. So that's why we keep clamoring for what we call judicial autonomy. And until judicial autonomy is granted, we will continue to be where we are. I mean, you cannot fight your masters. The judiciary cannot fight the executive. So it takes extra courage. It takes extra vigor to be
what you guys should do.
No,
to school for.
No,
courage. Be blind to the law.
You know, the law is there.
Okay.
You know, Nigerian law is carved in a way that it's too big. It's too big to catch the smallest person in society. And it's to catch the big and mighty. The truth is that there are laws in this country. Just that those laws are not in constant behavior with our people. There's a law against public smoking. But I can assure you that every policeman is in the street and smoking. The street public nuisance. You know, and the effect. I'm sure some of us are shocked like that. So there's a law against public smoking. Yeah, there's a law. But we don't obey. It's not the interpretation of those laws. It is the enforcement that's the problem.
I don't think it's the body language of even the persons interpreting the law. That's why we tend not to obey the law. Because we saw a case a few weeks ago where in Edo State, I'm going to be references in Edo State. Something happened in Mission Road where you heard about about the breaking traffic rule and they wanted to oppress the persons that have been assigned by the law to enforce these laws. And you as a judicial officer, you've broken the law.
Well, the truth is, I know where you are going.
To interpret it.
Yeah, an article about the whole scenario of what you are talking about, what will happen. The judge was actually in a car, in an official car, you know, and brushed the traffic light, and it will be stopped by security officers, you know, and the process, you know, the side mirror was broken, and the judge had to spring up, and you know, court officers had to come, take him to the scenario, to the scene, and the judge had to leave her car to enter another vehicle to go to court. So the issue spring up. Because this, I was so careful before I wrote that article, because as my colleague, you know, I know that in law, the offense of a servant is upon the master. Okay. You know, but you must also be able to give the law the face. The law have a face.
Oh, you're talking about the face.
Yeah, the law. The judge was in the vehicle. Who was the driver? It wasn't the judge. Oh. It was the driver that beat the traffic.
That is where our problem starts from. This technicality you guys put.
No, the technicality is.
That's where the problem.
The technicalities is in the law. I mean, what without technicalities? It is the technicalities that make it difficult. It is the technicality that INEC is the primary election of a particular of the, it is the same technicality. That's the this election that you witness are not the only people with the authority to conduct such election. So the law is voluminous. Technicalities are what gives life to the law. So it's technicality.
And that's what the rich use.
Yeah, so technicality that we use in interpreting the law.
No, not interpretation. That's what the rich. That's what the rich. No, I'm not saying because I feel that the law.
What makes you feel the law cannot protect the ordinary man?
But that's not what we'll see from day to day now. We have not.
You know, there's one thing about media. Media sees to publicize. You know, when I was in university, something happened. I wasn't a very popular student. I was in SUG and what have you. I was writing an exam in particular, and I saw a lady who was, who was using, extraneous materials. She wasn't caught. One came out, my friend was telling me, Gabriel, did you see that girl using? I said, I saw it. I said, but if that girl is being caught now, it's not a news. But imagine only me. And because I mean, it's a news. So most big. There's one we want to blow out of proportion. You know, when things are into celebrity. But I must tell you, there are judgments that favor the ordinary man almost every day. Okay, like just it's the nature of society that making you not necessarily 1 out of 50. Just most of those judgments that favor the ordinary man are not being reported in our law report. Not even be reported in our media space.
Because they're actually
they just get because they don't have what it is to employ the service of a lawyer. So there are so many to it. I am not supporting justice. Even as a matter of time, for the past 5 years, I have list, of good governance. But we must do things the way they are. The law is the law. It has not changed, whether big or small. It is the law. So we must follow it. We must follow. I think more people should concentrate more are those in the National Assembly who has the power to make laws. Not lawyers or not judges that interpret the law. Not the court that interpret the law. I mean, there are people there that is making law. Oh, we are talking about adultery. Oh.
The one we are looking at now is false interpretation of the law. Because that's using the so-called technicalities that you guys...
Yeah, technically we understand, not force. That is why there are various levels of court. If you file a court in the state high court and the judgment is given, you are not satisfied with it. You appeal to you go to the court of appeal. You are not okay, then you go to the Supreme Court.
A situation when two high court judges, they are giving this in conflicting judgment.
You go to the court of appeal to interpret. The law is voluminous. The law is wide.
As a judge, there is a case brought before you that you know your colleague have already presided over and given judgment to.
Yes.
And the case comes to you.
Yes.
You to reject that judgment, but because you want to get your own bag, you collect it and give your own judgment. And you are quite aware that
these are some of the lacunas. And that we have disciplinary committees. I'm a lawyer. I have disciplinary committee. The legal practitioner disciplinary committee. Whenever I misbehave, I have a rule that guide me. We call the rules of professional conduct. So with the judiciary. But most it is the implementation, the enforcement. Let me give you an example. There's a very senior advocate in this country. I don't want to call his name. Who is being involved in a scandal. That scandal was done by one of his partners in the chambers. Writing to a complaint, trying to debrief another lawyer that we can do it better if you give us the brief. And the letter leaked. It was in the media, it was in the internet, and what have you. And this senior advocate of Nigeria is a well-respected SAN.
Nothing wrong in doing that.
Yes, you are soliciting. That is wrong. I mean, colleague is against our rules of professional conduct. So it's a breach of the professional conduct. And they're telling the man, okay, you are being indicted. You're indicted. You step down. Let's over the position you are with. And the man say no. And we are the legal practitioner disciplinary committee. We are the body of senior advocate. We are the body of benchers that can actually discipline this man. But because a big boy with a big name on a big jersey, So these are some of the lacunas. It happens in the Nigerian police force. It happened. If I had a matter in the Nigerian police force some months ago, where a husband and a wife were arrested for an offense, and he said it's conspiracy. And you need to see the way the police officer was, misbehaving and what have you. I will talk to the deputy commissioner of police. Well, the superior, this guy doesn't know what he's doing. So you want to take husband and wife for conspiracy? Is there a law like that? Husband and wife are one in the house of the law. Also, can husband and wife conspire against themselves? Serious criminal matters where they have to other factors, Not all wife. So if I get a discussion with my wife, gossiping, now say my wife conspire. So the problem is this: most persons do not have the details of the law, and it is unfortunate that people that are in this circle are those who are the lower cadet of any system. Go to the police, the people doing the work are the lower cadet, and these are the people who really, quote unquote, with due respect, doesn't actually have the flavor of the law, doesn't know the law. Go to the university. They said, you see the professors there snowing and being a professor over 20 years. There are some kind of research I should not be doing. I give to the lower cadet. So it happens in almost all systems. So we must go back. Our institution must wake up. We must have a reflection of what we actually, because every has what they want to achieve. So we must have the courage to do the needful. If not, we are going to remember where we are.
I like the way you wrap up your statement, the courage, and that's what is lacking. I don't know if it's courage, lack of courage, or the judges just want to enrich themselves, or you.
No.
You are the one coming.
No, I can't. An activist of.
Of what?
who's always speaking about the judge?
I'm actually the conscience of it. So that's the reason why I'm citing the issue of conscience themselves. Because we are tired of the situation when we approach the courts hoping to get judgment. You see, that sometimes a case will spring up in your locality. Everybody knows that this is what happened. That this person should get justice. And you take it to the courts. The guy, the culprit will be telling you that let's go to court. Nothing will happen. Because he's aware that when he gets to the court, he has what it takes to buy justice. And so justice is being bought on a daily basis. So like you said this morning, we pray for a day where our lawyers will have their conscience will be active.
Yes.
A day when our judges will have the courage to look up to to look at our politicians eyeball to eyeball and deliver judgment the way it is. Only then we can say that our judiciary have come of age. So what's your prediction for 2023 election?
Well, it's a time to decide again. The election is going to be very tough. I just hope it doesn't become bloody. Because I did analysis some weeks ago and I found that places that have population, like Kano, Lagos, are going to be very tough and competitive. And we also have that some political party will not hijack the election.
Like they always do.
Yes. When you go to Lagos, for example, an average Iboma will tell you who is going to vote for without confidence. But an average Obama cannot actually tell you that. You get it? So when you go to Kano, the same thing. So I wish the election that we're not seeing people go to express their feelings by voting the candidate of their choice. But let me tell you, there is kind of supreme being power. I said it not. I've moved almost all part of this country.
You're talking about the cabal now?
No, I'm talking about the cabal. That's what I'm going to. Okay. There are people that have constituted this country, that are carved this country to be messages. And if anyone goes out there, they are ready to do whatever person.
You're not sure our votes won't count.
You know somebody that made the machine that make your vote to count. It's not somebody that control the machine. There are many devils in this country than the godly.
Thank you very much, Barrister Egiato Gabriel, for stopping by to share your thoughts with us.
I appreciate it.
Thank you very much. And this is how far we can go on the show this morning. Do well to follow us on all our social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, at TSLNigeria. And do not fail to subscribe to our YouTube channel at TSLNigeria TV. And please, once you do, click on the notification bell so that you'll be the first to know anytime we drop our content. Until I come your way again next week, God willing, is bye from me.